Hi, my name is Patrick and this is Prep Mindful, your daily video practice and mindful test prep. And today I'm going to introduce a technique that can help us to maximize our efficiency and get into the habit of living with more intentionality. Microscheduling. Okay, so what the is microscheduling? Well, it's sort of what it sounds like. It's scheduling on a very tiny level. Now, I don't know if I borrowed this from Tim Ferriss or Aubrey Marcus or Chris Bailey or Tony Robbins or Ram Dass or any of the other voices that I listen to when it comes to improving the quality of our lives. But to whomever I'm borrowing it from, I thank you very much, and I hope that sharing it here makes it so that more people can benefit from this invention. When I'm working with students and one of them doesn't do the homework, the question I always ask is, are you satisfied with the way that you spent your time instead? Because to my mind, if you set priorities and you acted upon them and you didn't have time to complete a homework assignment, well, that's no tragedy. It sounds like you had a really busy week. But if you look back at the way that you spent your time and you think, no, I should have gotten this assignment done, I'm not happy with the way that I spent my time instead, then this is the technique I recommend, because this can help us to act more intentionally and be more in control of how we spend our time. In my life, there are a few triggers that I look out for that tell me it's time to microschedule. The most common one is when I walk into a room and then it occurs to me, I don't know why I'm here. I can't remember why I walked into this room. Or let's say I open a cabinet or pick up my phone and all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know why I'm holding this, actually. To me, that means that I've lost track of my intention and I'm no longer using my time in a way that's in line with my goals and values. And that's a bummer, because it's my time. Right in that moment, when I notice that I'm living without intention, I sit down and I grab a paper and pen and I pick some amount of time. It could be 10 minutes or 2 hours, anywhere in that range. And I say, okay, I am not allowed to do anything without writing it down first. I don't make any limitations on what I'm allowed to do. If I want to go to the bathroom, cool, that's great. You just have to write down that you're going to do that first. If I want to eat a snack, great, just write it down. Even if I wanted to check Facebook, I might say, okay, I'm going to scroll through Facebook for 10 minutes, and I write that down in my little pad. And then when I'm done with those 10 minutes, I come back and I see, all right, what do I want to do now? All that we're really doing is bringing our awareness to how we're spending our time. I experience a lot of pushback when I feel like, oh, I know I should do blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but I don't feel like it, and so I'll just avoid thinking about it. But the only task that there is in microscheduling is to write down what you're about to do, and that's pretty doable. And now what's funny about microscheduling is you might think, okay, well, if you have to write everything down first before you do it, you're not going to get very much done. But that doesn't actually tend to be how it goes. Instead, because you're making a decision on how to spend your time, you end up using that time much more productively. And you can look back at that piece of paper after, whether it be 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, and go, damn, I got a lot of stuff done. Because you did what you intended to do, and you didn't let all of the distractions that we face carry you away for a half hour, an hour, even more. It is helpful when you begin microscheduling to say, okay, I'm going to microschedule for the next hour, and set an alarm or a timer to go off at that point. Because if you don't do that, then you'll probably just sort of flame out. Like, you'll be microscheduling for a while, and then you get distracted by something, and then you come back and be like, right, I wasn't supposed to do anything without writing it down first. And that can kind of feel like a failure and make you feel like not doing it again. So set yourself a goal that you're like, okay, I can do that. For the next 15 minutes, everything I do, I'm going to write it down first. And then when those 15 minutes are done, congrats, you don't have to microschedule anymore. But I think you'll be amazed at how much it changes your relationship to your actions, rather than just sort of floating between impulses or following one idea and then dropping it and getting picked up by a notification on your phone or your laptop or whatever. You get to sit there and say, okay, there are many things I could do right now. What am I going to do next? And then you write it down, and then you get to do it, and then you get to come back and be like, woohoo, I did it. One of the other benefits I experience from microscheduling is it helps me to be much more present in whatever I'm doing, because I know that I've already considered what I could do, and this is what I decided to do. So let's say I write down, I'm going to go check in with my roommate for 10 minutes and see how his day was. Then when I'm talking to my roommate, I'm just there because I know that that's what I've decided to do. Sometimes when I don't set an intention, I might be in the midst of writing an email or having a conversation, but there are voices in the back of my head saying, like, are you sure that this is the best way to use your time? Shouldn't you be checking to see if there's something more important to do? But when I've microscheduled, well, I've already written down what I'm going to do. So here I am doing it, and I don't need to worry about what my other options are until I'm done doing what I'm doing and I go back to my pen and paper. I'm reminded in this moment of a quotation I heard that means a lot to me, which is, we don't have very much time, so we have to go very slowly. And microscheduling is counterintuitive in that way, right? It doesn't slow you down, to make intentional decisions about how you're going to spend your time. When you're microscheduling, you're free to waste time. You just have to bring your awareness that that's what you're doing. Okay, you want to look through somebody's Instagram stories? Great. Just write that down first. And then when you're finished, come back to the pen and paper and decide what you'll do next. So that's microscheduling. Why don't you take it for a spin and let me know how it goes in the comments below. My name is Patrick, and this has been Prep Mindful.